He's a 17-year-old kid. He shouldn't have had a gun. He crossed state lines to supposedly protect property. No, he was going out to shoot people.
Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old vigilante.
Kyle Rittenhouse, a vigilante.
Kyle Rittenhouse, the armed teenage vigilante.
A 17-year-old vigilante, arguably a domestic terrorist, picked up a rifle, drove to a different state to shoot people.
Kyle Rittenhouse, a guy who's deeply racist, went with weapons to a Black Lives Matter protest looking to get in trouble. He did.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the prosecution and the Kyle Rittenhouse case, pretty much doing everything in their power to not convict him, to let him off the hook, to really prove his innocence when their job is to try and convict him. There's like 6 charges on the table. They're talking about aggravated homicide, attempted homicide, all types of stuff. And much to the chagrin of those who we saw in the very beginning of this video, all they keep doing is bringing forth witnesses and evidence that say that Kyle Rittenhouse defended himself. The prosecution was so bad here that one of them literally facepalmed right in the middle of the court. It was crazy. Now, before I go any further, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you're going to hear the prosecution bring forth their star witness, the guy that got shot and didn't die. You're going to see the prosecution's reaction to that witness. And after we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said and done there. Then I'll give you my 2 cents into my deep detail analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as Exhibit 67. That's a photo of you, yes?
Yes.
Okay. That's Mr. Rittenhouse?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you'd agree your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once your firearm is pointed at Mr. Rittenhouse, that's when he fires his gun. Yes?
No.
Sir, look, I don't want to... Does this look like right now your arm is being shot?
That looks like my bicep being vaporized, yes.
Okay. And it's being vaporized as you're pointing your gun directly at him. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so when you were standing 3 to 5 feet from him with your arms up in the air, he never fired, right?
Correct.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
Now, you had said that you were looking for a non-lethal way to end this interaction.
That is correct, yes.
Yet you pulled your gun out and began, I'm going to use the word chase. You began chasing or running after a man who was running away from you, correct?
That is correct.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, this whole thing is crazy, so crazy. Let me just start from the top, from the very beginning. If you don't know the whole Kyle Rittenhouse story or you want a refresher. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse, I think he might have been 17 or 18, not quite sure how old he was, but he lives in Antioch, Illinois. So the whole thing about crossing state lines, if you know where Antioch, Illinois is, or if you don't know, I'll place a map on the screen before you. It's right on the line of Wisconsin. Okay, Kenosha, which is where the shooting happened, is like right across the line. You're talking about from where he was living to the incident, maybe 15, 20 minutes of a drive, if that. So it's not like he went far away and hopped on a plane with a bunch of guns and a duffel bag. It wasn't like that. It was in his community, all right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, he was there to protect people, to be a medic, just to volunteer for his community, because you had all these riots happening with Black Lives Matter and Hands Up, Don't Shoot. They're tearing stuff down, burning stuff up. So he was there to prevent that from happening, okay? He was not out there to try and find trouble, unlike what the media types say. Because of what, going back to the beginning, he crossed state lines, he was trying to pick a fight. He wasn't doing that, okay? And as a prosecution, we're able to eloquently lay out He was running away from people, and the people that he shot were chasing him. They drew guns on him. They were trying to attack him when he was not trying to attack them, the so-called victims. Now, the guy that was testifying, Gage Gracecutts, if I'm butchering his name, sorry, but the guy that was testifying for the prosecution, again, their job is to try and convict Kyle Rittenhouse. They're doing the opposite. But anyway, that's the guy that had the pistol on him and got shot. His old, like as Gage said, his bicep was vaporized. I mean, that thing was gone. You're talking about after a chicken wing is done, the nub from the chicken wing, that's how his bicep looked. It was nasty. But anyway, Kyle Rittenhouse shot him in self-defense. And Gage said that Kyle Rittenhouse was not trying to shoot the man before he put the gun on him. That's that simple. So this whole thing about he was out there trying to pick a fight, trying to shoot people, all this and that. No, that's not the case. He was out there defending others and defending himself. He ran away from it. And it was crazy because the witnesses being, I guess you would say, what's that, cross-examined or whatever by the defense. He was asking, hey, were you chasing him? He's like, no. But were you running in the same direction as him? Yeah. Okay, so why are you running toward the so-called gunman? What are you doing? And you got your gun on you as well. So you armed. You're chasing the armed guy. So what are you going to do if you catch him? Huh? What are we going to do? You have your gun out in your hand and you're running to try and chase the guy that's running away. So what's really going on? And I think this dude Gage might have been part of Antifa. I'm not really sure about that. But either way it goes, I mean, the prosecution, they have nothing. They have nothing. I think even the prosecution's opening statement one of these days, I'm not quite sure when it was, but even the prosecution's opening statement defended Kyle Rittenhouse. This is really an open and shut case. It's not even really nothing about no race or no politics. It's open and shut. It's on videotape. You have Kyle Rittenhouse running away, not trying to engage, not trying to hurt anybody, not trying to fight anybody. You have him on videotape saying, hey, I'm a medic. I'm here to help people. I'm going into harm's way to help. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to be a medic. That's it. That's all. Okay. You saw him on tape trying to go and help people and treat people. I think even after the first guy that attacked him and Rittenhouse shot him, he was trying to render him aid, but he couldn't because he was being chased. So, I mean, I think the reason why this case is even a case is because of the political nature of it. Because this happened during Black Lives Matter, after the Jacob Blake shooting in the Milwaukee area. And it's this whole thing about us versus them. It's about the left wanting to support Black Lives Matter, and then the right just have to be against it no matter what, right? So it's a political thing. Really, in my humble opinion, he's kind of like a political prisoner. If he gets convicted, it'd be a complete miscarriage of justice. The evidence is on his side. Even the prosecution, who are trying to get him locked up, they called the guy that shot. You called the guy to the stand that got shot, the so-called victim. Even the guy who got shot said that the reason why he got shot is because he pointed the gun at the shooter first. He did it. It's his fault. He said it was his fault. He said it in court. So what else are we really talking about? There's not really much more to say. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the prosecution and the, the face palming, the bad or just truthful witness? Whatever your thoughts on them are, let me know in the comments below. How you feel about the Kyle Rittenhouse case? Is Rittenhouse innocent? Should he go home? Should he not even be locked up right now? You guys know where I'm at. He shouldn't even be locked up. There shouldn't be a trial. It should be pretty open and shut. Like I was saying before about the whole illegal aliens breaking into the country. If you live in a particular place and a person breaks in your home and you shoot them, you don't even go to court. It's not an actual thing. Now, I'm not saying this is the same thing as a home break-in. Don't get that twisted. But what I'm saying is there are certain times where self-defense is pretty evident, and it shouldn't be this whole long, drawn-out thing. You got to go back and forth to court. You in jail. You got to make bail. You got to hire lawyers. Why do all that for a clear, open and shut self-defense case that was caught on videotape? The only reason that I can come up with is that it's political, and they want to try to make an example out of Kyle Rittenhouse and try to prove this whole narrative about the big, bad white man that's out to get you, which is dumb because everybody that Rittenhouse shot was white, just like him. So this whole thing is dumb. It shouldn't be a thing to begin with, but the media, they love their witch hunts, and this is most certainly one of them. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.